Have you ever taken time away from your art or any other skill-based hobby? If you have, you must have felt the rust slowly growing on you until you get back to it. And then once you come back, the rust of course takes some time to fall off of you. It's like trying to ride a bike after not riding it for 2 years. It's really difficult. Let me tell you about my recent experience. I spent the last 2 months preparing for a move from my old apartment to my new apartment, and although I had my partner to help with a massive chunk of it, it was still one of the most exhausting and stressful experiences of my life. My old apartment had gradually turned into a complete mental hell because it was so messy, my sleep schedule was upside down, and on top of that I encountered some family issues that were really stressful to deal with. But that's how usually life goes, right? It just throws everything at you all at once. So naturally, I could not keep up with my art workflow. I'm currently trying to become a full-time artist, and that means that I spend every single day of my life dedicating time to my art career, including this YouTube channel. But that of course went downhill the last 2 months. I went from drawing every single day to making maybe one piece of art per month. And so naturally, I became quite rusty at art. Now, fast forward to 2 months later. I had moved in, everything was set up, I was ready to work again. I sit down at my desk and I just expect to get back into it as smooth as butter. That's of course not how it went. The first piece of art I tried to make was a very simple portrait of Lydia, and it turned out to be a complete disaster. Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know who Lydia is, she's my OC, and I actually made a video about her and OCs in general, and so I'll link that down below if you're interested in watching it. Anyways, I started drawing her, and for some reason I could just not get her face to look right. I spent hours sketching, and I mean 4 or 5 hours of straight sketching. It felt like treading water or trying to grab smoke with your hands. Extremely frustrating. So I thought, you know what? I think rendering can fix this. But guess what? I failed there as well. But why? Why is it so difficult to draw a face that I can perfectly visualize in my head? Well, I realized that consistency has a massive role in maintaining your skills. And I, for a good number of reasons, definitely hadn't been consistent. I realized why all professional artists, no matter how skilled, keep practicing their fundamentals. And I realized I was much more focused on getting back to work sooner and making up for the lost time. But rushing through it and being so outcome-oriented definitely wasn't the way to go. Although drawing boxes or practicing head structures would be a very efficient way to dust off my skills, I really craved some proper fun after 2 months of not having any. So I decided to do easy comfort drawings as a way to revive my workflow. For me, comfort drawings are usually drawings straight from reference. They allow me to almost fully turn off my brain and just render what I see in my style. So I did some fan art of the upcoming Joker 2 movie, and I think it turned out pretty great taking into consideration the circumstances of the situation. It felt amazing rendering it, and I was reminded why I loved art in the first place. I will of course still do studies and my fundamentals again before jumping into the bigger pieces. However, I think the fun is what I needed more right now. But hey, what works for me might not work for you. You might prefer doing post-studies first, or boxes, or silly doodles. Just remember, it's not about how good it turns out, it's about dusting off your skills. Like dipping your toe into the water before you actually take the plunge. So now that we have done the basics, let's see how the next piece goes. I tried drawing Lydia again, because I just love drawing her, and I can't believe how natural and effortless it actually felt. I managed to sketch her successfully within an hour, and I was so happy. So if you find yourself struggling after returning back to art to do the brain-heavy stuff right away, just do whatever you're comfortable with first. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are great artists. I hope you enjoyed the speed paint of Lydia, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.